Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another summon video for the global version of Destiny Child. We have Ragna Break Season 4 just opened after the maintenance, the Summer Scandal featuring Isolde here. As you can see, this is the unit with her alternate skin as well, and we're able to get her for free in the course of the Ragna Break itself, so that's very exciting. So before we jump into the Ragna Break itself and show off a couple of potential team compositions that you can use on tackling this particular Ragna Break, if we take a look at the summon menu here, we'll see that Bikini Lisa, Summer Lisa, just released with her own individual banner here. You can also pick her up with some other childs, as you can see. But yeah, the best odds are going to be on this individual banner. And I really like this Lisa's design. I think it's one of the best designed Lisas in the game. So, and she's actually pretty good, at least as far as water raids are concerned, which of course Isolde is. So I think we're going to go in kind of lightly just to get her, see if we can get her. I'm not going to go crazy with my crystal stash, but all the same, it would be really nice to have her. She and Summer Mona as well are both really great looking characters, so I would like to get both of them. So I think at the very least, this banner has a 1% chance of getting Lisa, so I think at the very least we'll probably just do 10 shots, so 100 pulls, and then if we get her, we get her. If we don't, we can reevaluate as things go on. So let's just get started. We'll start with 1 10 pull. Try to keep track here. And okay, starting with an Elias. Okay, Atropos. Sonnet, Baphomet, Genius, alright, Blood Dragon, okay, Bellboy, Electo. So obviously, as I mentioned, the Ragna Break is a blue, a water type Ragna, so you want to bring your heavy green attackers, your grass attackers, if possible. So that was kind of a bust, unfortunately. We'll go right into the next one. And of course, team composition is also going to change based upon whether or not you play manually versus auto, or some hybrid in between. Manual naturally has the highest potential as far as damage is concerned. Oh man, another Argus. Alright, Watcher. Oh man, these are not looking good. Okay, Quirinus. So standard team composition, you're probably going to have 2 attackers, 1 or 2 buffer/debuffers, and then you want at least 1 healer/tank, if not 1 dedicated healer and 1 dedicated tank. Depending on if you're playing manual, somebody like Epona really shines against Water Ragnas on manual, of course. But if you're planning on playing on auto, you can certainly just... Ooh, hey, this is one of the new units that they added in, Bremen. So that's kind of cool. This is new for me. It's a 3-star, but still new. And new is good. Alright. But yeah, if you wanted to just kind of auto and blitz your way through, you could always just slap in good auto greens like Krampus, for example, is an excellent choice. Alright, Ambrosia. Okay, so far nothing. We're going into our 4th multi here, so given the 3% chance of getting a 5-star, You know, on average, we should be getting a 5-star pretty soon, Cynthia, but that never seems to hold true in Destiny Child. It just feels that way for whatever reason. Alright, could this be it? Could this blue light yield us? No. Oh god, it's gonna be Dartface. It's the worst 4-star. Alright. So I'm not going to be too bothered if we can't get Lisa here. Lisa is going to drop into the Blood Gem pool, which begs the question, I don't know when they're going to start putting and adding to the regular 5-star pool. The Korean version has expanded the 5-star pool significantly, and I don't know how they're deciding what ends up going in the 5-star pool versus not. Okay, we get a double of the Dartface, which does give us some crystals back, so I gotta say, you know, it's not bad. That's not a bad sight to see. But I would really like to see them expand the general 5-star pool, because as it currently stands, okay, come on, give us Lisa, please. Come on, Davi. Oh, hey, you know what? Elizabeth is pretty darn good. That's great. I will take an uncap for my Elizabeth. Elizabeth is one of those Dark Horse candidates that is an amazing tap attacker. So if you're playing on manual, she is an amazing attacker. She's dark, which means that she can use the Soul Carta, the Demon Hunter Demon, which increases her crit attack power during raids. So what that means ultimately is that, and she has obviously neutral coloring, so she does neutral damage against any types of raids. And what that essentially means is if you're lacking in a high-powered tap attacker for a designated color, so if I didn't have a good green to take in against Isolde, Elizabeth would be a prime candidate. I could slap the Demon Hunter Demon on her, and she would be able to do massive damage with crit. So that's pretty good, actually. Alright, so, you know, despite not getting Lisa, that's actually not a bad 5-star at all. I think I need a couple more Elizabeths to fully max uncap her, which is something that I absolutely plan on doing, because, again, Elizabeth is one of those great fallback characters. Even if you don't have a good attacker in a designated color for a raid, you can just slap Elizabeth in there, and she'll still go to work. So hopefully that's not going to be the only 5-star we get. But even if it is, that's pretty productive, so can't be too miffed about that. Okay, Eris. Shamash. Hey, double Mona. Okay, and Frigga. So as usual, we are a little bit behind in terms of the overall rate. So we're on, I believe, multi-7. So we've done 60 pulls and only gotten one 5-star. Okay, Darren. Firo. Oh, man. Oh, Tristan. Okay, Tristan's actually new on this event, so he is a new unit for me, a new child for me, so that's pretty cool. See, we are getting the event, the new event character, so that's pretty nice. Now, if only we could get the event Lisa too. Okay, Tisiphone. That is not Lisa. Okay, Revenge Girl. Oh, okay. You know what? We're getting a lot of doubles. That's pretty cool. Don't mind seeing that. Okay. Okay. Well, winding down now. This is going to be our 8th multi. And now, still only really an Elizabeth to show for it. We've gotten, again, the 2 event 3 stars and 4 stars, but I'm pretty sure you can just get those through the event itself, so those aren't like special or anything. Of course, being 4 stars and 3 stars, they'll be added into the regular pool, which means you can pull them at any time as well in the future. So not terribly exciting. Well, oh, come on. Davi, give me Lisa. Oh, wow, we're getting a Mott. That's, you know what, that's pretty amazing too. I'm pretty sure my Mott's at +4 or +5, so this is great. I can use that for an uncap. You know what, they're giving me 5 stars that I need, so I can't really be too upset about that, of course. So we've kind of hit the normal rate, I guess. We've gotten 2 5 stars so far, and with any luck, we can get 1 more 5 star, which would be about average, and with any luck, that will be Lisa. And that would be perfect ending. Cherry on top to our summons. That's what we're looking for. We want that Lisa. Hey, okay, another Bremen. Can use that for an uncap. Still waiting for the system that I think Korea has and potentially Japan has, where you can use native 5 stars to uncap other native 5 stars. I don't know if it's like a chance or you need to use multiples, but my box is brimming with 5 stars that I can use for uncapping purposes. Oh, okay, another double. So I'd really appreciate that. That quality of life update anytime. Alright, so we are now on the 10th multi, which was the last multi that I said I was going to do. And I think the last multi that we're going to do, at least for this session, I may come back later to do another one. Depending on how I'm feeling. We'll just have to see. In fact, I might just check to see how far away I am from the mileage, and we'll base it on that. It would be nice to end it off with another 5 star. Would be pretty cool. This could be it. Come on. No. Oh, hey, it's Frisia. Frisia's great. I have her at +5, I think, or +6. Alright, so unfortunately that puts us really close. That puts us really close. So, because it puts us so close to the mileage up here, as you can see, I'm just going to do one last 10 pull right now, and then again, I'm just going to reevaluate. Getting Bikini Lisa would be awesome. Again, I really do like her design a lot, but if we don't get her, we don't get her. I'm not going to fall into the Calypso trap like I did before, and it's not a collaboration, so we have opportunities to get her in the future, so, you know, win some, you lose some. Oh, Agamemnon, he, pretty good, introduced in the last event. That's not bad. I know I definitely don't have him uncapped. Okay, Demeter. I'm excited for whenever we're going to get the Demeter Ragna. Oh. Victorix. And our last pull of at least this session right now is going to be, oh, an Elysian. Elysian's pretty great water attacker, and here we are, getting that mileage, so yes, we will claim that. Very cool. Alright, so we last left off at 11 multis, so I think we're going to do just 4 more to make it around 150, and that way it's a nice round even number, I guess, and then we'll call it there. I don't think I'm going to go up to the 200. I just don't know if I can really justify that. At least it's pretty powerful for Water Ragnas, but she's not like absurdly powerful or anything. Not that I really pull for power anyway. If I really just pull for design, so really that's why I want Lisa, is for her design. Okay, Zelos. Alright, two blue lights in a row. Come on, Davi. You gave me so many... There we go. Hey, look at that. She showed up. See, all you have to do is compliment her. If you compliment her, then she'll show up. That's all you need to do, right? Just throw in a good word or two, and then they'll come running. So, that's great. We got Bikini Lisa. That's phenomenal. Summer can be fun even if you don't swim. What's that face for? I would actually say she's showing off a little bit more personality than she usually does. Lisa's always so deadpan in her delivery and her expressions, but looks like she's having a good time with her big water tube. So, yeah, that's awesome. That's great, we got her. Not too far off of the average. Basically, what was it, 120 pulls? So she has a 1% rate. It's worse than average, of course, but not the worst thing in the world. Definitely seen worse in this game. Believe me, I've seen worse. And for that matter, we've gotten basically 3 5-stars, all of which are going to be useful for me. So that's pretty awesome. So as you can see, Bikini Lisa here is a wood supporter, and her skills do lend themselves towards boosting raid damage. Her tap attack has a chance to remove the water balloon effect that's going to be present in the Ragna itself, and her slide effect will increase the defense of wood allies, as well as inflict weak point, which is always great. So she acts as sort of a tank slash debuffer, which is always nice. A combination also has a chance to remove freeze, which is one of the effects that you have to worry about in the Ragna. It's not something we've seen all that often in Destiny Child up to now, but she does get rid of that. So, yeah, that's great. So here she is, Bikini Lisa. We can put it in gallery mode, I suppose. Here we go. Yeah. So like I said, she's a lot more expressive here than I would have expected for Lisa. And I don't know, maybe that's a story thing. Maybe they show it off. Maybe she just loves the beach or something, or the pool, and that's why she's letting her true colors show. I don't know. But I think she looks great here. I think they did a great job with her. And I eagerly wait for Diver Mona, which I'm assuming she's going to be coming pretty soon as well. And yeah. Well, here we are. Surprise, surprise. Anemone has made an appearance on a premium pickup summon shortly after the Isolde Ragna made its own appearance with Bikini Lisa, Swimsuit Lisa. So she's on her own premium pickup summon, which I'm not sure how they did it in Korea and Japan. I think I was kind of hoping that she was going to be a free unit, but didn't end up being the case. So she is actually a 1% rate up on this banner, I believe. So yeah, she does have a 1% rate, Midsummer Anemone. And we're just going to go in a little bit. We're not going to go crazy on this one. I did replenish some of the crystals from the last time around, and we'll just kind of see how we do. Again, probably spend around, I guess, 10 multis or so, and then call it quits there. That's what I think we're going to do. That's kind of the game plan, but we'll play it by ear. Let's start with the first multi, get right into it. Hopefully Davi is going to play nice with us, but there's something about Destiny Child summons, unlike any other game, where you really feel like the odds are against you, like more so than most. But we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. I don't know if there's any new units in here that I need. Probably not. Just like general units and merges I could use. Arato I actually could probably use, because I don't think I have her, or I don't have enough for a +6, so that's okay. So we got at least one additional 4-star, not the bare minimum. We're getting another at least a 4-star. It's going to be Hector. Oh ho. When you do a multi, of course, you are guaranteed at least one 4-star or above on the final pull. This one right here being the final pull. And, oh, Lita. Lita's awesome. I love Lita. But I have her at +6, so certainly don't need her. But all the same, good to see her. Maybe she'll bring us some good fortune on the second multi. We start off with a green. And, it's Sibel. Followed by Gron. Okay, that's a polar bear. We got a polar bear. Okay, Fairy, one of the Christmas Childs. The Christmas Child, they all kind of freak me out a little bit. Cheshot. They all, like, have a little bit of, like, a Nightmare Fuel edge to them. More or less. Skuld, I like Skuld. She's always one of those kind of 3-star projects that I always want to, like, I always talk about merging and awakening, and I haven't done that yet, but she's kind of on the agenda. Same with Nemesine. Oh god, Skull. Ugh. One of my least favorite 4-stars for sure. I think he and Dartface are probably my 2 least favorite. Boss Pig. Okay, Firo. Atalanta. Oh, Firo getting a double. Okay, we can get some gold back on that. I'll take that. We always need more gold in this game. Never have too much. Oh, hey Mona. Always nice to see Mona. Now it is going to be exciting when the world boss hits. There's some speculation that the next world boss that will be hitting at the end of the month will be potentially Swimsuit Mona. I think that is the current hypothesis, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be pretty darn cool if we could get Swimsuit Mona for free. That would be amazing. That would save me the trouble of pulling for her, because she would absolutely be a target for me. Wow, that was a lot of 4-stars in a row, but not a single 5-star. We did get, again, some gold out of that, so out of those dupes. And of course, I don't know when we're going to be getting Newbie Mona, but Newbie Mona is, I think, going to be a high priority for a lot of people, just because she is an amazing top-tier unit along the lines of Chang'e and the other kind of current top-tier units. So a lot of people that have been kind of hoarding crystals are probably going to blow a lot of it for Newbie Mona, and rightfully so. She's an amazing unit, unless they make alterations to her on the global version, obviously. Alright, so, man, we are not getting any 5-stars. Oh, we are getting a double, though. I'll take that. Give me that gold. I will take that gold. Alright. Looking a little dire, but that's okay. Like I said, we're not going to go absurd here. So this is the 5th multi. So this is going to be 50 pulls deep. And like I said, she does have a 1% rate, so you know, on average, you would expect at a 1% rate to get 1 every 100 pulls. But it seems like the swings in this game are so absurd. And I know that's, you know, RNG is RNG, but it feels like Destiny Child has the steepest swings. The steepest of swings. Okay. Well, we're getting lots of doubles, though, which is kind of cool, because I went through a huge dry spell of not like a single double, and I know it's not like a huge deal or anything to get a double, but it's kind of nice, because you get a little something back. You know, it's not anything crazy, but at the same time, you're pulling on this thing, you're not getting anything out of it except for Onyx, because you're burning the units at the end of the day and not getting anything out of it. Alright, so where are we? Alright, let's go back in. This is multi number 6, which is just fine. This is still within reason, I'll say, I think. But we haven't gotten a single 5-star, which again, oh, well, speak of the devil. And of course it's going to be a Frey, which I do not, well, I can use him. Let me rephrase that. I can use him. He is not max merged or max uncapped, and he's actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. You know, character aside, I don't care for him too much personally, but you know, he's actually at high uncaps a pretty powerful dark attacker. And dark attackers are very, very useful, as we'll showcase in a little bit later why dark attackers. I don't know if Frey is a tap attacker or a slide. Oh, another 5. We get 2 5-stars this multi. That's pretty awesome. Okay, it's going to be a Dana, which is good. It is good, because our Dana, I think, is +5, so this is actually a +6 to our Dana. So that's actually phenomenal, if I'm not mistaken, unless she's already +6, which, if that did happen, that happened very, very recently. And if that did happen, then I'm actually pretty sad about that, but that's okay. We got 2 5-stars in one multi. That kind of evened up the odds a little bit, right? So that's pretty good. All things considered, that is pretty good. But those weren't obviously who we wanted. Oh wow, another 5-star right in a row, and it is going to be Anemone. That is special. That's special right there. So basically got 3 5-stars in a row, more or less. I mean, a little bit of a break in there, but we got all of the targets at well, the target. I guess there are targets, right? So Midsummer Anemone, high risk, high reward. Wanna have a go? That's right. She's got like the MC mic going, and she's like hosting a show. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got Anemone. And I'm very grateful we didn't have to spend a ton. We would have probably done about 3 or 4 more multis to get her, and if we didn't get her, we would have moved on. But turns out that we were fortunate this time around, and I'm very thankful for that, because I know how bad it can get. Definitely know how bad this can get. CrackPebbles, for instance, obviously the partner on the channel, spent a lot of crystals for Anemone. Because she's basically been his primary target since the beginning of the game, and he had to go through a lot, and it was painful. It was basically Calypso Part 2 almost. But and if you guys are interested in watching Pain and Despair in Destiny Child, go watch our Calypso pulls, because that was awful. Like, that was absolutely abysmal. But we ended up getting Anemone here, and that's phenomenal. Got our +6 Dana as well. So, all things considered, the Summer Scandal summons actually went pretty favorably for me, which I'm thankful for, and I know is not going to last. So, I'll take what I can get when I can get it. So, here she is, Midsummer Anemone. She kind of plays, so she's a water supporter, so she does actually kind of play a duplicative role to Chang'e a little bit, in that she does provide some additional support for the skill gauge, like the amount of skill gauge that her allies gain, which is very nice. She also adds fortitude to her allies, which is also pretty nice, so she plays that dual role. But she looks pretty great here, and now we're just going to jump into the Ragna break itself. Talk a little bit about the team that I'll be using, as well as talk about general strats as far as team composition for tackling this. It's going to be a little bit late because we're publishing this kind of midway through the Ragna, but to the extent that it helps anybody out there, we figured it might be nice to show people what we're doing as far as overall strategy, and strategy as far as general Ragnas are concerned. So just wanted to take a quick second to talk about team composition for the Isolde raid. Obviously, these aren't going to be the top tier teams. If you want those, or you want examples of those, they're actually all available for display. If you go to the leaderboards for the raid, you just have to do no more than click on the name of the top ranked player to see what team they're using, and kind of try to emulate that the best that you can. Now, of course, a lot of those teams are going to be using manual teams for the high ranking or the high scoring. Some of them are going to be extremely reliant on +6s for certain characters, and without those high level uncaps, a lot of those teams, or some of those teams, may fall apart without having the level of self-sustain and heal that you would expect from certain characters, namely like Bikini Lisa. A lot of those teams are going to have +6 Bikini Lisa, and for a lot of people out there, that's just not going to be a viable option. So we're just going to be talking very briefly about an auto team, or an example of an auto team, and an example of a manual team that you might be able to use based upon the units and the soul cards that you have in your box. And then, of course, I'll just show an example of my manual team running through the Ragna break itself, the Ragna Raid, so you can see what kind of damage that I'm doing. So what we have here is a generic auto team, set it and forget it team, where you can kind of just let it run its course, go full auto 3 times, and it'll do moderate damage. It'll make a dent. You'll be able to get the currency that you need, the Ragna coins that you need out of it, and just kind of move on with your life, burn through those tickets. Obviously, Chang'e is very, very important for this team. She's going to be increasing the speed and the drive and the skill charge for all of these units, basically enhancing the entire team's damage.
I have Bikini Lisa here and Mott here, which Bikini Lisa is a support, a pseudo healer a little bit, Mott's full healer, and that'll just ensure that this team stays alive no matter what. Even if the AI goes full dumb and does things like, for example, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, there are certain debuffs that Mott may try to counter, or that Bikini Lisa in auto may try to counter, and they'll, forego the maximum strategy heal that you may want, and that might leave your team in a little bit of danger. So having these two on there will allow for guaranteed self-sustain, but of course, you could really substitute either one of them for a debuffer, like Midas here. Midas is a good choice. Even Eve, to be completely honest. If you wanted to put down a poison inflictor, that would be perfectly fine. That'll just supplement your damage as well. And Bikini Lisa can certainly be replaced by really any green attacker. Your strongest grass attackers that you have. Amore is a great 4-star attacker that we'll see a little bit later, and she can certainly fill that role if you need her to, and is obviously widely accessible as a 4-star. Krampus is certainly one of the best green attackers in the game. We have Siren here. Abaddon would be fine, although Abaddon really excels better on a tap team, a manual team. Jachongbi is also an excellent option, currently rated up, a wonderful wood attacker if you have her, and if you have her maxed, you can certainly slap her in this team composition. But this is really flexible, and really the more damage that you want to do, you just really have to replace certain units or certain support units with attackers. If you end up dying, or you feel like your team isn't leveled enough to actually sustain, then you're going to have to, unfortunately, replace certain units with more healers, or with tanks like Dana, for example. Is another option as well. But in terms of general team composition, when you want to kind of laze your way through a raid and just burn through tickets so you don't waste them, the team will do fine. It'll get you some points on the board, and it'll basically get you some currency and some coins. So here we have a crit-based team, a manual team to maximize damage. And as you can see, certainly I'm limited a little bit by the character selections that I'm allowed, because I don't have a lot of uncaps on, or at least I haven't fully awakened certain select 6-star grass units. But all the same, a lot of the team composition is the same. We have both Mott and Chang'e here. Chang'e is just going to be vital on both teams no matter what. If you have her, you want her on this team. If you don't have Chang'e, the new Anemone actually can fit into this role, because she does provide a little bit of a speed buff. It's not the same, but on her drive she does. Mott is here naturally for the sustain, and she alone is all we need for the sustain. You can certainly, if you have a high uncapped Bikini Lisa, you can swap her in here as well, because she is going to have that fortitude as well as that healing for a support grass unit. Pantheon, high uncapped Pantheon is so important for a manual crit-based team. He is going to let you do the damage that you need to do by multitudes, and most of the high-ranking teams in this Ragna, and probably most future Ragnas, are going to have Pantheon on them, because he's just a crit monster. So he can basically make, or rather, he makes your other units crit monsters. And speaking of which, we have Amore here, who I was talking about before, as an excellent 4-star grass option if you have her max uncapped, which is fairly easy to do, again, as a 4-star unit. But certainly if you have a mid to high uncapped Abaddon or a Siren, I would certainly recommend replacing Amore with one of those units. Or both of our attackers here with those units, just because they're going to do massive tap damage and have effective damage. Amore's tap is not very good, of course, and so we're just going to be using her slide, so she's not going to be really doing and capitalizing on the crit damage the same way that Abaddon and Siren can. I think it's important to highlight Elizabeth as a potential option for players that have limited resources, just because even if you don't have the best tap characters for each respective color, Elizabeth kind of supersedes that, because she has the ability, she's one of the best tap attackers for Dark Childs, and because of that, she is able to utilize this soul card called Demon Hunter Demon. And we can take a look right here at the Demon Hunter Demon and what it does, but basically it increases critical attack damage by a certain amount in raids. I have it leveled up a bit, but I think it starts at 4,500, and then each time you uncap it or enhance it, it goes up by 500, I believe. And of course, it also just increases your overall attack, which is great. But as we'll see in a little bit, this card allows Elizabeth to rival even effective damage in raids with her crit. And because you're using Pantheon, and because you want a high-level Pantheon, these characters will be critting all the time. So Elizabeth is going to be doing damage that basically rivals high-damage green attackers, Now, again, she will be outdone or outpaced by high damage tap attackers of the correct color, but having her in your back pocket is never a bad idea, and therefore she is a pretty darn good investment if you are able to uncap her and you have that Demon Hunter Demon card that you can invest into as well. And here we are with just a demonstration of the manual team versus a level 40 Isolde. Obviously, it's been sped up a bit for convenience of watching, but when manualing, I do play on 1x speed or 2x speed just because 3x speed can sometimes tax the system and cause lag, which ends up hurting your bottom line as far as damage is concerned. So you want to just be wary of that. But as you can see, the name of the game is basically crits. Crits and tapping is what you're aiming for, and more or less you just want to be sliding with basically all of the units except for Elizabeth. And with Elizabeth, I'm just tapping every single time. And you'll see that more often than not, with the crit equipment that I have on both Amor and Elizabeth, as well as Pantheon's buffs, they're critting pretty much every time. More or less every time the skill charge fills up all the way, you get that red flash, which knows you're going to be dealing a lot of damage and melting that boss health bar. And as you can see, Elizabeth basically, even though she doesn't have effective damage with that Demon Hunter Demon Soul Carta maxed out, or leveled up, I should say, that she does so much damage with her crits that she does as much damage, if not more damage, than Amor, who has effective damage on her side. Now, of course, if you were using an Abaddon or a Siren, you would probably have a little bit more success here. A high-level Abaddon or a Siren. Abaddon in particular has, I believe, the highest tap damage of the entire game. So if you're going to be running manual and against a water-type boss, such as Isolde, then Abaddon is a perfect fit if you've got a merged one or an uncapped one and you have one that's fully leveled and fully maxed and awakened and everything else and evolved, then definitely Abaddon and Siren are great picks here. For those of you who, again, do not have the best color advantaged tapping unit, Elizabeth ends up being a wonderful replacement and a wonderful investment. So going forward, everyone can be susceptible to bad RNG or have those colors that they don't have fully fleshed out in their box, and that's perfectly fine. But if you do have an Elizabeth, she can really make up the difference and fill in those gaps for you, especially considering that since she's a dark child, that means that she doesn't have color disadvantage against anybody. So you can basically use her in any Ragna team, and she'll still deal some pretty significant damage. And of course, we're still going on manual in order to maximize the number of fevers. The most damage that we're doing is not strictly out of fevers. The fever damage kind of is dwarfed a little bit by the crit damage, or at least they're equalized a bit. But all the same, getting as many fevers as possible is still very useful. So like I said, strategy is sliding with basically everybody and then tapping with Elizabeth. As far as drives are concerned, usually before or shortly after Isolde does her drive, I will use Mott's drive just to keep everybody healthy. But the alternative, I'll use sometimes Elizabeth to do her drive just to inflict a little bit of bleed damage. Pantheon to get a little bit of a boost as far as the crit damage is concerned is also an option. Now, Isolde does have two pretty annoying mechanics. She can freeze your allies, which will slow down their skill regeneration, their skill cooldown, charge, which is pretty annoying, especially when you're trying to get as many crits as you possibly can. The water balloon effect will basically reset your team's charge, or an ally's charge that is inflicted with the water balloon, which essentially forces you to miss an attack. So that, again, is fairly annoying when you're trying to do as much damage as you possibly can in one of your tickets. Now, Bikini Lisa does have ways of getting around this, so if you have her, that's a great addition, especially to an auto team. You can slap Bikini Lisa in there, but in terms of just raw crit damage, when you're going for a crit team and a manual team, you really want to just maximize the amount of crits that you can possibly do. So Bikini Lisa doesn't really fit on that team, especially since Chang'e is an absolute must, Pantheon is an absolute must, Mott you need to survive, and you need at least 2 attackers on the team. So because of that, there's really no room for a Bikini Lisa, but in an auto team, you certainly can utilize her if you have her. So towards the end of this, you can see that we racked up over 2 million on the high end of the damage that I can do with this team, to be completely honest, and obviously there are much better teams to maximize, but ultimately not bad for a maxed 4-star and an off-color 5-star, or 6-star I should say, as the 2 attackers, and they put in a lot of work here and really tore through that health. From my perspective, in terms of efficiency, I would say that you want to aim for around 1.6 to 1.9 million per ticket if you're going to be going manual, just because that will ensure that you're in the top half of the users or the slayers that end up participating in your raid, so that you can maximize your actual currency gathering total. And as you can see, this team does that very easily. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us for Ragna Break Season 4 of Destiny Child, featuring Isolde, and then the banners with Bikini Lisa and Anemone. Let us know in the comments below how you did on the banners and how you're doing in the Ragna. If you're enjoying the story, if you're enjoying the characters, let us know how you did on your pulls, if you did decide to summon on this, and if you're saving instead for somebody like Diver Mona, who's coming at the end of the month, most likely, again, not confirmed, but most likely, and whatever banners come alongside her, let us know in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny Child content. We thank you all so much for watching, taking some time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's break those raids.